one team will get the one side, maybe both teams will get the first save onto the Devil Dino. That's really where the variety has come towards for both teams in past matchups. And now coming in here, this is rvlt's first chance at the Ignite stage. The Chiefs coming back from preseason, some would argue didn't get the result that they wanted. They wanted the top spot, but unfortunately Gen.G were just too much for them to handle. But now coming into stage 1, do the Chiefs have what it takes to go back for another matchup against Gen.G?
Well, they're going to have to do it without the Devil Dino here, as rvlt are going to secure that one-sided, because the Chiefs are another one of these teams here in OCE that seemingly like to prioritize the Black Cat, so all eyes are going to be appropriately on Reno. We saw his stats on whatever heroes he was playing. You know, it was kind of a mixed bag back before, but we know what hero he is going to want to start off on this time around as a one-sided Black Cat comes through for the Chiefs.
And rvlt, like you said, one-sided Dino, so a little bit of that front to back, a little bit of that flexibility in terms of how you want to utilize this Dino. Maybe you go in guns blazing, trying to stomp down the Chiefs, or you just stay back, play front to back, make sure that the back line of rvlt is not getting absolutely destroyed by any sort of dive potential of the Chiefs if they do choose that route. But for now, as we get further and further into the ban draft, both sides will commit their ban onto the Mantis, so no damage amplification, no movement speed boosts as well, and no vibrant vitality also.
Luna Snow Protect coming through from rvlt. I'm liking the way their ban draft is starting to shape up. I'm curious how this is going to be. And something else that we probably haven't really talked a whole lot about is rvlt do have the benefit of coming through MRC, which, you know, maybe kind of sounds a little bit iffy because it's like, oh yeah, they're the MRC team. There's, you know, new kids on the block. They do have a little bit more practice together as a team as of late, and they may have a better read on the meta as a result. They're going to have that Captain America banned out from the other side from the Chiefs to secure a protect onto the Phoenix, and it's going to be a Jeff ban to round things out for rvlt. As we go to a pause. Right out the gates, though, like, I don't hate the ban draft from either side. You know, the Chiefs giving up the Dino and committing wholesale to that Black Cat, whereas rvlt seem to have a pretty decent read. You know, they go in for the Dino, they go in for the Luna Snow, and some of the things not pictured that they were able to get through the ban draft as well. White Fox and Ultron. We haven't seen any other teams leverage that duo that trio just yet. I'm waiting for it to happen. I've seen it a couple times from a couple different teams in scrims, and if we see it, we really get to see the Luna Snow be unleashed. I think a lot of teams do fall into the trap of protecting her just because she's particularly strong right now and always good when it comes to a lot of these front-to-back compositions, but I feel like her value goes so much more deep than that, and I want to see some team leverage that. Hopefully rvlt can be the first.
I mean, both sides, I mean, you said it, right? Both sides have navigated the ban draft pretty well. I would have to agree as well, right? The Chiefs making sure that anything complementing the dive on the side, on their own, to be enabled as well. Make sure that they have what it takes to utilize that dive. rvlt were able to at least shut it down, maybe just a little bit, by taking away the Jeff if the Chiefs do go for the Venom. So no symbiote shenanigans being available if the Chiefs do want to go for the dive, because they also, quite frankly, saved the Black Cat quite early on, and that really signaled what rvlt had to do in the ban draft. Just shut down the dive, make sure that if they do want to go for the Black Cat, it's going to be really hard for Reno, which I assume will pilot the Black Cat. It's going to be really hard for him to try to navigate around the Dino that rvlt were able to secure one-sided.
Let me ask you a question, Dan, as I think we got the unpause coming here pretty soon. We do have, what we've seen throughout the day in OCE, a lot of teams prioritizing the Devil Dinos. We have both talked a fair bit about, but we've also seen a couple of teams ditch him and go for the Black Cat. So settle it once and for all. Are you team Black Cat or team Devil Dino?
I'd say team Dino. Dino just makes the team composition so flexible. You can either play dive, you could either play brawl, you could even play both if you really wanted to. And just that flexibility alone is just enough. I know Black Cat has a lot of tools, especially with that shot mechanic that she has in her own kit, making sure that you want to go for rotational plays, you can do that. If you want to see where the enemy team is, you can do just that. But I feel like Devil Dino just influences the entire composition, because at the end of the day, if you really want to go for the Black Cat priority, you're kind of signaling that you want to go dive.
Yeah,
you can't really rebound to anything else.
And even with, like you mentioned, the shot mechanic, that level of versatility that Black Cat has, I do still think, like, at the end of the day, when, you know, it's time to knuckle up, you do kind of have to go for a little bit more of those dives. And if you appear on the Devil Dino's screen, you are in danger. So you can already see Revolt trying to lean themselves in that direction. I would agree. I'm also on Team Devil Dino, and I think Revolt would also agree. Here's my question, though, for the Chiefs. We see Beast Node currently hovering over on the Venom without the Devil Dino, and also with Donald on that Captain America. My question for the Chiefs was always going to be, like, how good is their dive composition specifically? Because we've seen a lot of them playing the front to back in the past. We've seen mixed results with the dive. It didn't look too good against Genji in the grand finals, so they went back to something a little bit more well-practiced on. How are they going to adapt to this new landscape? I think the way forward for both teams is clear. For Team Revolt, your new kids on the block, show us what you got. For the Chiefs, you were at the top of the block, show us that you still got it.
We will see as a little bit of an exchange, a little bit of a friendly fire between both these teams before the gates open up here on Warrior Falls. So a lot of environmental potential here coming in as Revolt make their Ignite debut here up against the Chiefs. As Revolt look to go for the more brawl style of composition. Hyon on the Star-Lord could go in and out of the enemy backline. Onset going to be that steady cornerstone that Revolt could rely on as long as that Dino stays alive and well.
Hyon just pumping in some of the damage onto Beast Node. Hello, Donald, just showing up at Hyon's back door. Little hit and run, not confirming the Elim, though, but does signal the beginning of the end. The dive coming through from the Chiefs, but Cookie punishing Beast Node. Good retort there with that Fox form, and now Reno getting caught out all by his lonesome, and it seems like Revolt are here firing the first shot. Donald, though, going in to try and bounce back, taking down KB7, a good way to keep themselves in the fight. Take down the strategist, hunt down that Luna Snow, make sure that there is no healing for Revolt going forward. Cookie is going to have to make up the lion's share of it from here on out as the Chiefs are refusing to concede this fight. Another splash coming out now from Beast Node, confirming that Elim there onto the Devil Dino on the other side, and now the way forward is clear. Reno back into the fight, has his sights set, but instead is going to help up with that frontline battle there as Beast Node again going in deep, and the rest of the team is there. The White Fox teleporting in, a nice little two-piece coming through, and the Chiefs will win that first fight.
Yeah, Chiefs can do whatever they want. They were able to take down the Dino of Onse relatively early, which allows the Chiefs to just utilize the dive section of their composition. Beast Node going right on in. Reno could easily follow up if he so chooses, but Beast Node does all he can and make sure that Revolt gets staggered even further because he was able to take down the strategist line towards the tail end there as Jongvek and Bubble teaming up with the CYA into the end song. Just takes down every one of Revolt.
And that's going to be a triple KO for Jongvek. Zyker going to get a cleanup KO there as well onto Sable, and Chiefs pretty cleanly do it. 2 ultimates expended, though.
Yep, ultimates expended for the Chiefs, but it was a very efficient one in the end. Jong was able to get so many of those eliminations with the assistance of Bubble with the 40% damage amplification. Revolt, though, do have ultimates to work with to try to go for some sort of retake potential, but with KB going down, Revolt might have to hit the reset button as soon as they try to look for something.
And Jongvek again getting active, a nice little two-piece there. One for Neil, one for Cookie, and now Onse getting brought to his demise. Bubble gonna be the one cleaning that one up. The only change from this team from the Chiefs is Bubble dropped the Ka and gotta drop a Dino as well.
And now how does Revolt decide to go back in here? Hyon has to make a lot of space with the Galactic Legend. Cookie also could back him up with the Kumiho Unleashed to give Hyon some extra utility to work with, but with Reno making the first aggressive move, Revolt have to go for the reactive measure.
It's going to be a back cap potentially coming out here for Revolt, though, is Sable coming on over there, 93%, and Revolt will find the flip, and Sable taking down Donald. The ultimate starting to pay off for Revolt, but Bubble gonna bring Donald back with that BRB. Hyon trying to take to the skies with this Galactic Legend, but is seeing a lot of beefy health bars, can't quite chunk through him, so we'll cut them off at the source, taking down Bubble. Good trades coming up for Revolt as they do have the control of the point. They need to maintain it, but Reno taking down Sable just inches away from that health pack, so close to that Oasis, but will not be giving the drink that he needs. And Donald and Jongvek coming back. Reno continuing to follow up, terrorizing this backline with another two-piece. 96%. There's not going to be an opportunity for a retouch here. Revolt are going to have to concede as the Chiefs take Warrior Falls quite handily.
Yep, and thankfully it wasn't a shutout. Revolt were able to get control of the site for just a little bit, but Chiefs easily rebound, and we're just able to rip apart Revolt. It just felt like Revolt didn't have an answer to Reno on the Black Cat. They do what they can. They try to shut it down with Onze, try to bite down Reno if he does get a little too aggressive. Cookie and KB7 have all the CC that they need if they need to peel away the dive potential of the Chiefs, but unfortunately, it's just not enough. Chiefs have both Donald and Beast Node to potentially draw in all the aggression, and with Revolt not getting access to those resources, Reno could just easily shut them down.
And here's the trap that I think some teams are falling into is Revolt actually going to make a couple of changes. Neil was on the Emma Frost there. I think a lot of people, kind of think, oh, Emma Frost, you kind of counter the Devil Dino, but it also just doesn't really lend itself too well to the composition, because then you're trying to play wholesale on a bunker composition, and if you can't punish Beast Node consistently and Reno every time around, you're just not going to be able to control any of the map. That's why these dive comps work so well. Good portal coming out there from Onse to block Bubble from being able to take that high ground, but that's okay. He's a squirrely or a raccoon shaped fella. Get back to the rest of his team and take an early posturing on the point there. Sable under a lot of fire now coming out, but the Sonic Detonation taking down Reno. That's a good start, but they have to trade Cookie in order to do it, and Reno is going to be rezzed right back up, so Revolt losing out on their main source of healing, have to try and strike while the iron is hot. They do take down Beast Node, no reses this time around, and Song Inferno to try and shut down this Fate of Both Worlds now coming up. But like you said, it's comboed, it's damage amped, and Psyker gonna get in there and confirm that KO there onto Sable. Jongbek taking down KB7 and just letting the sparks fly, bursting down Neil. No matter how much healing, this Dino is about to go extinct.
I mean, it just feels like the Chiefs have every single answer. Revolt were able to get some sort of early advantage, but Chiefs were able to rebound just as quickly and are able to clean up the rest of Revolt, because Chiefs do have that combo down, but still, it's just Revolt don't have an answer to this Black Cat. Jong is just able to win out the 1v1 onto Sable, and the rest of Revolt need to find some way back in, but again, Reno just going crazy in the backline. Revolt have no answer. Chiefs might just be able to spawn camp.
Yeah, and between both of those dive vanguards and Reno all making problems for the backline for Revolt, it just creates a shooting gallery. Jongbek has all the sight lines he can possibly want, so you're seeing all of this damage just building up over time. He's getting so many of these KOs in the neutral just off the back of well-coordinated plays. Sable trying to return the favor and take him down, and does, so that's a good start. I have Agamotto, but it's an offensive one to try and shut down Reno, but Reno popped the calling card, win in deep, found KB7 again, and Zyker gonna catch Sable sleeping, and this fight happening in Revolt spawn is definitely not what you want to see if you're trying to get yourself on the board.
Yeah, you gotta find different methods of approach at this point. You don't have access to the portal because you used it aggressively in the first fight, so that's still gonna be on cooldown. So there's really no other way to get themselves out of this hole that Revolt are inside of, and the Chiefs, with so many of their ultimates there, Hyans is gonna have to resort to using the ultimate in his own spawn.
Gonna be a freedom charge from Donald as a pseudo strategist ultimate to help keep the Chiefs alive in the fight, and it's gonna be more than enough. Nobody falling, completely bloodless ultimate coming out. It's Jeff coming out, and Feast the Abyss. Beast Node just chomping right down, and Jongbek on top of Cookie to shut down that Jeff ultimate. The damage still ringing out from Jongbek and Beast Node, and Revolt. I mean, Ansei swapping over onto the Hulk. That is a Hail Mary play, just trying to make something happen. Hyan, again, trying to go in, but is checked once again by Jongbek, who has been turning Neil into Dino Nuggies all day long with the sparks, letting them all fly, and the Chiefs emphatically taking Burden T'Challa.
Revolt had opportunities to win out those first fights, but as the fight dragged on longer and longer, it just felt like the Chiefs were just powering up because of it. Revolt thrived in those early exchanges, but if any sort of trades got long and extended, the Chiefs were just able to outplay them every single part of the way.
And you look at the way that these two teams were playing, like it being as not close as it was on Warrior Falls, like really kind of spelled disaster, because whether it was Imperial Institute of Science or Stellar Spaceport, once the map opened up a little bit more and Beast Node and Donald had all this extra room to play, they could go in, set up the dives. Reno was there every single time to terrorize that backline. 12 final hits for him, and every time that trio goes in, it just sets up Jongvek. He also comes out with 12 final hits and 17k damage. I think that's just about as much as half his team combined. Like, he did more than Donald and Beast Node as a collective, even more than if you take either of them, couple it with Reno, however you want to do the math, doesn't matter. Jongvek was just cooking with gas all day long.
I mean, Jongvek was relatively untouched, right? No one on Revolt was able to pressure Jongvek, but sometimes Sable was able to win out those Phoenix 1v1s, but that was really it. It was only Sable threatening Jong, as Arena was able to draw out so much of that aggression coming in from Revolt, just forcing everyone on Revolt's side to try to shut down this Black Cat, and they were not able to do so. There was just, again, no answer for them.
I think when it comes to a lot of hero shooters, my own personal pet theory is that a good dive team will beat a good brawl team 100% of the time, and the Chiefs right now, is at least compared to Revolt, look like a pretty good dive team, and it's not always just as easy as pick Devil Dino and hope to win, even though I'm still kind of on Team Devil Dino, but you do need to have a little bit more bite than just that dinosaur in order to try and get the better of a team like the Chiefs, who are coming at you from all different sorts of angles you ain't prepared for.
I mean, you could argue that it was a little bit unlucky that Revolt weren't able to get a roll on the spaceport, because that's really the best chance of like a bunker style composition. You do have that little small room very close to the mission area. It's not quite on the mission area, but it's still enough for the team to bunker down and try to survive the dive that the Chiefs could have thrown at them in spaceport, but unfortunately that just never happened. So unfortunate for Revolt, but still, they got one more map to work with here.
Yeah, it is kind of all about map control. You definitely can't give up map control to a dive team when you're trying to play a bunker team. You have to try and be able to set yourself up, but they're going to set themselves up for another map altogether. Hopefully they can control that one a little bit better, and we will have that map for you on the other side of one more quick little break. Chat, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Anomaly located. Moving in. Target identified.
Not exactly a warm welcome, Nueva York. Optic blast!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time turning into Pacific or Oceania, well, it's kind of how a lot of these games go sometimes. It's not Museum of Contemplation, so things are a little bit different this time around. But Dan, walk us through this, man. How did we get a spawn hold not once, but nearly twice on Burning T'Challa?
I mean, as soon as the Chiefs won out that first fight, they just kept that momentum going. Revolt just never had an answer to anything that the Chiefs threw at them. Some might argue, some might say that Reno was probably the biggest problem for Revolt, because when you look at that match, it just felt like Reno could do whatever he wanted on the Black Cat, and Revolt just had no answer.
It was maybe the biggest problem, but I think on their Jay-Z status, they had at least 99 of them.
I wonder what the one problem was, though. But I gotta say, man, that was a rough matchup for Revolt. It was their first showcase post MRC into the Ignite series, and unfortunately you had to go up against Chiefs, which is pretty similar to being up against like Gen G and the likes. We saw that a lot so far in the preseason, but we talked about this before our first matchup, Dan. They being Chiefs are going to be the litmus test, we feel, for a lot of teams to see, is there a chance that they can secure that second or maybe even third place slot towards the end of this group stage, maybe even securing that second place spot going into playoffs. I don't know.
I mean, we're going to have to see. We're already in that double elimination bracket, right? This is just how OCE Stage 1 is going to be structured. The top two teams will get a chance to play against some of the Asia teams in a collective combined Pacific playoffs, but that's way, way, way down the line, as the Chiefs, maybe they do have a chance to get themselves a spot, but it's going to be really, really competitive, because throughout the entirety of OCE, there are a lot of competitive teams, but only two can make it into playoffs right now.
And
That's
yeah, those
right.
those two spots, at least for my eyes, seem pretty uncontested. Like that first spot, it's going to be Gen G's, and I really don't think anybody's going to have a whole lot to say about it unless that other team is the Chiefs. So it really is a battle for, can the Chiefs hold on to that second place? Can they either be the team to unseat Gen G, in which case that would just put Gen G into second place, because you know that's going to happen in a grand final situation here in OCE if that happens at all. And, if they can't, who is going to take that place? I think right now, maybe you're looking at a team like Fury to potentially be the next contender. But if the Chiefs keep this pace up and they keep lining them up and knocking them down like they did on that first map, just an emphatic win over a newcomer like Revolt, saying, no, this is still our house.
Well, now hold on, CB, because we were in the interview with Gen G, they were saying, maybe Chiefs aren't as good as they used to be. There might be a thing or two that we've noticed behind the scenes. I think the meta, for the most part, for Chiefs, at least going into this first match, looked pretty on par from what we've seen from other teams. So, I don't know. The mystery continues.
Well, there is no mystery as to where our next map is going to be. Shin Shibuya is the choice for Revolt.
Alrighty, and we're not entirely sure what side Revolt did in fact pick up here. I'm looking at the feed right now. It's saying on defense, so we'll see what Revolt have cooked up on their end to try to counter what Chiefs have been throwing at. Because right now, it all comes down to the band draft, right? You gotta figure out what Revolt need to do in order to shut down the Chiefs. And right now, I'm looking at trying to shut down this Black Cat, either banning the Black Cat itself or banning away things that complement the Black Cat.
I think Double Dinosaur could be a pretty good compliment too.
Yeah.
I know there was this little war going on between you two.
Yeah, what team are you on? It wasn't a war. We were both on Team Double Dino.
Yeah, we're on Team Dino.
Yeah, there's no war here. We're in a truce.
Are you with us or against us?
Answer carefully.
I think we're about to start a war. Because
You are-
I'm Team Black Cat.
Okay.
I do think we have some, at the very least, anecdotal evidence that would lend credence to Team Black Cat. I mean, the Chiefs are firmly on Team Black Cat right now, and they spawn-held Revolt on map number 1. And, I will start like a small war with you, Dan, because you did say it does kind of come down to that ban draft. Can they shut down the Black Cat? I think the mission for Revolt actually goes past the ban draft. Easier said than done. Don't get spawn hold is objective number 1 for Revolt, and anything beyond that is gravy.
We'll see about that. Chiefs, though, will secure the Black Cat, so Revolt will need to resort to finding ways to take away resources for the Black Cat to be enabled. Maybe you set your sights on the Captain America, maybe the Venom as well. Revolt are thinking about it, but for now, they will take away the Devil Dino and maybe take it for themselves one-sided.
I mean, they kind of have to, which, doesn't really... Like, it's still the same as what we saw on Burn and T'Challa, right? Like, you take the one-sided Devil Dino, sure. You give up the one-sided Black Cat, sure. but that didn't really help you last time around, and the Chiefs don't care. Like, they're happy to give that one up. That's why they go for the Black Cat again, because that's the team that they're on. That's what they value more, and that's what they feel like is going to be their win condition. So, I mean, and if you're Revolt, if you don't go for the Devil Dino ban and you don't go for the one-sided Devil Dino, then potentially you give up, having to go against a Black Cat and a Devil Dino, and who even knows what that would look like, because no one has been bold enough to give up both of those things.
I don't think we've seen both Devil Dino and Black Hat on the same team just yet, but Revolt looking to invest their second save on someone, because both teams taking away the Mantis, so no damage amplification and enabling the team, no movement speed also enabling the team, so that's going to be taken away. Luna Snow will be the save for Revolt, so maybe they get another crack at the Luna Snow White Fox team up that
I've played these games before. I've played these games before. This is the exact same pick and ban draft that we saw on the previous map, and it didn't work out for Revolt. And there's going to be, again, the protect onto the Phoenix for the Chiefs. So Jongvek, again, going to be up to his usual tricks. Reno gets the Black Cat, so they get their duelist lineup that they want for free.
Right.
There is going to be a Captain America ban from Revolt. That's going to be the lone curveball that ends up coming through, and I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
But it only solves one of the problems. Donald, on that Captain America, you do still have to worry about Beast Node on the Venom, and you also didn't go for that ban onto the Jeff, so you can potentially get that Jeff team up again and have potentially the best healer in the game to try and augment some of Beast Node's dives.
I mean, Donald, I think, is completely okay with the ban onto the Captain America, right? Because Donald can easily just play the Emma Frost. Emma Frost easily shuts down Devil Dino, for the most part, at the very least, as the Chiefs look to go on the offensive side first. Revolt do choose the defense first. So, Revolt, what does their composition look like? What is their ideology here coming in on this defensive side of round number 1? Onse on the Devil Dino, Neil on the Emma Frost, as Hyan going to the skies with Ultron this time around instead of the Star-Lord. Maybe try to enable Sable on the Phoenix, try to give him some extra damage amplification to try to enable this Phoenix to shred down the Chiefs, because right now the Chiefs looking as aggressive as ever now.
So I don't know if KB7 is going to be too privy to it, but this is where I want to keep my eye on the DPS Luna, because you can just put a drone onto the Luna Snow. She can self-snowflake and essentially just have that free perma boom bonus damage, and that's a great way to deal with any sort of dives that are going to be coming your way. And the Chiefs, they are on that dive. Marino going to use that Flame Orb, scout out his targets, and help set up alongside Beast Snow, potentially Zykrek as well. They're going to dive on in, and they take down KB7. So, I mean, damage Luna doesn't matter because all the damage was front-loaded right on that Luna. She ain't going to be around to tell about it as the Chiefs find that quick little 1-2. Can't quite get up to Hyan up there on high, but it doesn't matter because the fight down below is being won handily by the Chiefs. They take down Onse on that Devil Dinosaur, now taking the fight right into the arcade, but they ain't playing no games. They came to take names. Another shot there onto Cookie, and the Chiefs making it look easy with 2 quick ticks and a teleport now coming up from Onse to try and deny the full cap from coming through, but his feet can't touch Terra Firma quite in time, and even meeting the chokehold of Donald on that Emma Frost, the Chiefs, again, they cap it so swiftly. 5:23 in the time bank.
And they're looking to keep the pain train going. Hyan gonna get staggered out. Might just be even more. The whips are doing so much work for Reno and the Chiefs, and Revolt just cannot find any sort of foothold on this entire map. Every time they try to make space, the Chiefs invade in their own area and just take it for themselves.
Revolt completely giving up the Devil Dino. Onse gonna swap over onto that Venom, and I think that means that they have given up on trying to go for this full-on counter dive. Instead, they're gonna have Neil on the Emma Frost. Maybe he'll make the swap. Sable gonna take down Beast Node. That is a good opening salvo. Gonna find Reno as well. A nice little 2-piece for the Phoenix on the other side here. So Revolt starting to get their feet under them, starting to walk, maybe get a couple more KOs. They could start to run. Beast Node trying to go in with this Beast of the Abyss, try and snuff that one out. Rage of Ultron coming out to try and augment the healing though, but they've lost out onto 1. They're trading out for Donald. The Cosmic Yarn Amplifier is keeping the Chiefs in the fight for the time being, but a good Carbon Crush onto Beast Node, forcing out that Symbiotic Resilience and the swing as well. Revolt, at least for the time being, able to stand their ground.
Yeah, they're able to stall out the aggression coming in from the Chiefs. CYA in tandem with the Feast of the Abyss only found 1 elimination, so Revolt still thought that the fight was winnable, and they are very well right. Good Feast coming in from Onse to try to draw out some of that resources from the Chiefs, and that will bring out the Kumiho Unleash, and it will get burned out pretty fast, as the rest of Revolt do have a lot more ultimates to keep this fight going.
And the key thing is they're keeping KB7 alive, so you will still have that Fate of Both Worlds, and you get all the damage from that DPS. Luna Snow coming out. Calling card now going to come out from Reno. Wants to try and hunt down KB7, but there is that Fate of Both Worlds. So KB7 keeping the team alive, and more importantly, keeping himself alive, and they are dishing out the hurt. Neil and Cookie able to find the front line, and there's an Endsong Inferno to strike deep into the back line. And with 3 quick KOs, Revolt not only stand their ground, they stake their flag in it.
Yeah, but Revolt did invest a lot of their resources just to stabilize, as they need to find a way to hold for another 3 minutes. The Chiefs, however, will have a second rotation of ultimates coming in. Jong with the Endsong Inferno could be assisted with Bubble on the CYA yet again, and we've seen it back in map number 1. That combo has worked so well for the Chiefs. And the Revolt need to find an answer here quickly. Hion's getting closer and closer to that Rage of Ultron, and hopefully that will be the tool to, at the very least, survive this Wombo combo that the Chiefs are threatening.
Oh, the peel didn't come through for KB7, so you've lost that on your Luna Snow, so you're going to be relying potentially on that Rage of Ultron for all of the healing going forward, and Onse ain't going to be getting any of it. Bubble going to get the cleanup KO onto that one, and gets to hold on to the CYA for the next fight.
Hion still has that Rage of Ultron, like we talked about. Could easily pave the way for Revolt to go for some sort of retake. Chiefs, however, will have defensive measures. Donald could easily hold Revolt at bay with the Scion Seduction. Is able to take down Onse, so Donald could easily go in with the Scion Seduction to just force away Revolt, but Hion's going to kick things off here.
Endsong Inferno from Jongvek with the CYA. Triple off of the Endsong Inferno. Jongvek will stamp an exclamation mark on this point. Feast of the Abyss going to come out now from Onse and has a buffet at his disposal, but Reno going in super deep, taking down Hyon, and that should be the cap. Another resistance from Onse, but it's a token one at that, as Chiefs cash their chips, get this second cap, and again, the portal is just a frame too slow.
No portal in time means Chiefs get the second checkpoint. I mean, Hyon was really the only one able to maybe get a chance at surviving the aggression coming in from the Chiefs, but Feast of the Abyss with the Endsong Inferno, all assisted by a 40% damage amplified CYA. Yeah, you're not healing that one, because burst damage is going to be way too much for Revolt to handle, and they all fall down at the exact same time as the rest of the Chiefs just keep on going. Another pick onto KB7. Donald even going to amplify this even more with the Scion Seduction. Is going to catch out the Dino. He's going to be taken down, and the rest of the Chiefs, look how close they are together. They're just playing so well. Aggressive or passive, they are all together no matter what.
Look at what Reno is posted up there, and KB7, you know, he's been dealing with the full force of these dives from Beast Node, and Reno is already trying to scout it out. There was the Flame Orb there to try and scout Revolt's reapproach here onto the point here, and another dive potentially coming out. Cookie trying to live through it with the Fox form. Burst down Beast Node, forces out Symbiotic Resilience. A little bit of limit testing coming out from Beast Node. Endsong Inferno from Sable, forcing out some resources from the Chiefs. Calling card now from Reno, but Kumiho will be unleashed, keeping everybody alive. Fox beats Cat, and Phoenix beats other Phoenix. Sable taking down Jongvek, will be back with that BRB, but that resource being burned mean the Chiefs have to try and go all or nothing here. There is that combo coming in again. Jongvek and Bubble, but there's no living targets as the rest of the team has already melted them down. Jongvek finding a few more in the neutral, and 129 in the time bank. The Chiefs will set a blistering pace here on Shin Shibuya and get themselves all the way through, secure extra innings, and now Revolt, you're up, son. What do you got?
Revolt tried to get the defensive side advantage. It's very defender-sided when you're playing on Shin Shibuya, but the Chiefs were able to break on through. Although Revolt did have some signs of life here and there, but just the sheer wombo combo coming in from the Chiefs. The Revolt just never had an answer there. They tried answers, but they were still incorrect because the Chiefs just had every single tool, even going as far as getting 2 ultimates in tandem with Bubble on the CYA. So it's just that cohesion, right? The synergy from the Chiefs is shining so brightly here.
And a lack thereof from Revolt, because some of those fights that Revolt lost, you know, they're trying to go in on a retake to try and take point B, and Onse going in on that Venom so far back from, or the rest of Revolt is playing so far back, they're not ready to help try and augment that dive, so he doesn't get any healing and he just gets bursted down. And it's like little moments like that that kind of show you how much coordination you need to execute a dive composition and how wrong it can all go when you don't have the level of coordination that the Chiefs have. And now on the defensive side, Chiefs can take all of those dives on their terms. You can see how far forward Reno is playing. Once he builds up to the fortune to be able to get that Flame Orb, again, Revolt are going to have to try and play like they're navigating a minefield. One way to do it, circumvent it completely, teleport.
Yep, portal right up to the high ground. Give themselves as much of that space as possible, because right now the Chiefs... We're posted up to expect an engagement in the main area, but now Revolt spreading out, taking as much control of that high ground as possible, means that the Chiefs are going to have to take a different approach here, as we're going to see some close quarters combat up in the high ground here.
And KB7 is once again public enemy number 1. Sable gonna take down Reno though, so KB7 can breathe a sigh of relief. His savior is here, and Revolt are able to strike first blood here on the attacking side, and they're second for your money as Onse gonna take down Jongvek, and this is a good way to get themselves in the front door. Jongvek is gonna be rezzed right back up, but there's gonna be no such res that comes through for Donald, and with only losing out on high-end so far, Revolt have managed to get the first tick. Second should be coming through, and the Chiefs don't seem to be in a good position to try and go for a recontest here. Jongvek gonna fall again, courtesy of Onse. 2.5 ticks and only one man standing through the full cap, and yeah, just like you said, what a good freeze. Foreplay now gonna come through from Donald, and it is gonna be that game of whack-a-mole as one by one, the Chiefs are gonna come right back up, but there's not gonna be any healing waiting for them on the other side of that portal. Good kidnap there from Cookie, but you can even see the Chiefs, they know their limits. One man at a time is all it takes, but they do step off of the cart back through the portal, give it up, and that will be Revolt finding the first cap. 5 minutes in the time bank, and they are looking for a couple of stagger elims.
I think that was a little bit of a mistake on Reno during that first fight. Thought that he had a good angle to go in, but Revolt were able to bunker up perfectly, and we're able to shut down Reno, and that allowed Revolt, hey, we don't have to deal with this Black Cat for a few seconds, so we have time to just go right on in, and they do just that, but Chiefs are looking to fight right back.
And Song Inferno coming out from Sable, but it's going to ring hollow. Jongvek's song playing just a little bit more loudly, but maybe we should be singing Beast Note's praises right now as he's going to go through with a 3-piece. Disgusting stuff coming out from the Chiefs, and you know, maybe they give up that first point, but now they can go for that same spawn hold as before. So again, they have control. Reno's going to have the currency to be able to use those flame orbs, and already doing so to scout things out. Beast Node can see it too, so he knows where Revolt are coming from, as though it can only be any place besides the spawn. Good charm, though, to shut down the Feast of the Abyss. You'll be going hungry today, putting Beast Node on the Atkins diet. Eye of Agamotto coming out, and a huge charm with that damage amp from Zykrek on the off angle to try and clean things up. It's back and forth on both sides, though. Meteor M is going to be blocked. Nothing coming through from that side, and Revolt looking to try and break this stranglehold, but they haven't done enough to fully dislodge the Chiefs. Chiefs going to back up, take the fight back over onto the cart, give Revolt a little bit of breathing room, but they're trying to shut down Hyen so he can't pop that Galactic Legend. He's going to do so, but he needs that Fate of Both Worlds in order to be able to do it, and with the Meteor M, Donald can just absorb all of that damage as Zyker continues to just let the healing, let the damage, let the marbles fly and land where they will.
And Reno is just terrorizing the backline yet again. The rest of the Chiefs follow up suit. And no one on Revolt have an answer. No more ultimates left in the bank. It means that Revolt are going to have to concede this fight. And with 3 minutes on the clock, Revolt still have a lot of time to work with for now, as they look to switch things up here. Honestly, going back to the Strange, deal onto the Devil Dino. Maybe to try to stunt the aggression coming in from the Chiefs.
No, we didn't see that Sonic Detonation, John.
We didn't see that.
I blinked. I blinked. What happened?
My monitor turned off.
Revolt making some swaps, and like you mentioned, they have 3 minutes in the time bank, but each of these swaps is going to cost them some time. They can buy a little bit of it back with a good peel there onto Beast Node, and that's going to force out the BRB. Beast Node already back in the fray. Bleed procced and forced back with the rest of his team, so Revolt can again get this cart rolling a little bit
whoa.
slowly, though.
Whoa,
Donald
whoa.
has access to the back line. A flanking Magneto has taken down your Luna Snow, and a Cosmic Yarn Amplifier again coming out. No ult even needed for Jongbek is in the neutral. He's getting another two-piece, make it a triple, taking down Sable, has a little bit more left in the tank, sees a big beefy Fox in his crosshairs, will be having all of that and then some. There's a quad. Oh, give him the 5k. Beast Node, don't be greedy.
Well, he's able to secure it, and the Chiefs are able to hold for just a bit longer. Another minute expended on the side of Revolt. Now only 2 minutes left. So things are getting a little bit concerning. Hyon switching over to the Psylocke to try to add a little bit more of that backline access. But with Onze, with the Eye of Agamotto, is going to have to try to threaten things. But with everyone on the Chiefs just staggering out Revolt,
This is disgusting.
Revolt is just struggling to get out of their own spawn. We've seen this happen before.
It's just gross. Beast Node again coming in with a triple, and it's off the back of Jongbek getting another pick off there onto Cookie. You can't stray even a couple of feet away from the formation, or Jongbek will make you pay for it. And without that White Fox there, there's no one there to help peel for KB7 when the dive comes through. So again, that Luna becomes public enemy number 1. Beast Node again going in deep. Symbiotic Resilience forced out, and he's able to swing out, not popping the Feast of the Abyss. Trusts his team to give him the healing that he needs, and he will indeed get it, even through the face of that Eye of Agamotto coming out from Onse. It's not going to be enough to get Revolt's foot in the door, and Song Inferno coming out alongside that Feast of the Abyss. So much damage coming out, and Reno is there to mop it all up, even through that Fate of Both Worlds from KB7. It's not going to be enough. High-end trades out for Jongbek. That's a huge high-value pickoff, but again, it's rezzed up, and Reno, with that calling card, taking one out. Jongbek, again, not to be outdone, is going to double that. Reno and Jongbek are just going band for band right now, seeing who can do the most damage to Revolt, and so far it's been Jongbek. He'll get the triple there, and that may be the story of this map, and that story may be over.
Yeah, Reno's even going deeper and deeper. Still has the calling card. He can go even more. He's going to try to find even more eliminations, but he's not going to be able to. Flamemore going to be invested, using the crown to get himself out to safety as well. And the Revolt are just running around trying to find where Reno's coming from. And every time Reno shows up, someone goes down.
Jongbek toasting Neil again. Fossilized is he, and Beast Node again going in deep for Cookie, and I don't think there's going to be anybody left alive for Revolt to touch this card. Dance the butterfly, but Reno does not want to dance, says nah, music is over. Today is the day the music died. The day belongs to the Chiefs, and Revolt will be evicted from 1-2 maps back-to-back off of spawn holds. The Chiefs looking every bit as dominant as they need to look going forward here in the OCE group stage.
I mean, you can tell what the Chiefs' objective is, to try to win out in OCE. At the very least, get themselves a spot in the Pacific playoffs later down the line. But this is a great step in the right direction for the Chiefs. This is what we expected coming in to Stage 1 after a runner-up finish back in preseason. And so far, it's looking like the stuff we saw on paper is turning into reality.
And towards the end, though, like, it wasn't Revolt versus the Chiefs anymore. At a certain point, it was Jongbek versus Reno, who could get the most elims, who could do the most damage. And by one final hit, Reno gets the dub in that column. But off of 32k damage from Jongbek, you gotta imagine, you know, Reno was just kind of cleaning up a little bit of Jongbek's leftovers there. And Beast Node with 13 final hits as well. Had a couple of 3 pieces coming through there, just all across the board. Disgusting stuff from the Chiefs, and I love the look of this composition. They're able to execute on these combos so efficiently. Beast Node setting up the dives with the Feast of the Abyss, and the Flame Orbs coming out from Reno, all the intel just being dished out. And again, every time that front line goes in, it just means Jongbek has a field day. He can be in his lane, just popping those left clicks, throwing Cosmic Flames down range, hitting whatever they shall, and hitting on to 18 final hits. And that's only the tip of the spear for the Chiefs. There is still so much more to this team.
Hey, Keg, how you feeling about that one? Because the Chiefs really put in all of that combo potential, and then Revolt just kind of weren't able to respond. You think you would agree that the Black Cat was one of the culprits that Revolt just could not solve?
Hey, who's the host here? I'm supposed to be asking you those questions, but yes,
you just came in.
I think the Black Cat.
We're giving you the chance to be smug because you were, Team Black Cat
so
prevailed today.
Included, yes, Team Black Cat prevailed as usual. Casters not curse. You know, Black Cat, the ultimate baddie, always succeeds and always wins. And that's why you should be Team Black Cat, you two. I didn't see a whole lot of Devil Dinosaur until the end.
I'm converted. I'm Team Black Cat.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Come I'm fickle.
I'm gonna have to stick to my guns here. I still think Dino is just gonna allow so much flexibility.
You know,
yeah, it didn't work out.
If we see more Black Cat, can we get cat ears on you at midseason? Or whatever the land is.
If I do end up there, maybe. If Black Cat is the reason why a team wins out in the entirety of Pacific, maybe I'll consider.
I'll do it with you.
Let's
Alright,
make that a bet
makes
for
sense.
both of you guys. If we see more Black Cat protects and bans, we'll get the stats at the end of group stages, and if that's the case, you guys both got to wear cat ears.
Ooh, I like that. Like the
okay.
total at the end versus Devil Dinosaur. Okay, you know what? Shake your hands on that. I'll do it.
Yeah, we got. Yeah,
There we go. There we go. Handshakes all around. All around. All right. So
the pact is sealed.
So, ring, we got somebody on the mic. I don't think they're going to wear cat ears like us, but we got Donald here to see exactly, well, Chiefs, pretty quick day at the office, like Dan said. Went pretty well. Hey, Donald, how are you, man?
Hey, long time no see, guys. I'm well.
I was going to say, I think this is our first, is this our first repeat interviewee across the two stages? I think Skittles might be the other. Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen FMCL a couple times too, but yeah. You'll see a couple more of my teammates, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was FMCL.
Yeah.
Speaking of FMCL, though, particularly, he had some words about you guys in the first interview of the day. He was saying he thinks Gen G are going to be dominating, running away with this series. He thinks there might be some rumors that the Chiefs are falling behind. What's up with
was
that?
that rage bait?
What's up with that? Is that rage bait, or is that like, how are you feeling about that?
I mean, like, I don't know how he has any information unless there's some scrim leaks going on, which, you know, Gen G, we don't like that. But no, I mean, we're relatively strong. I don't like talking about scrim box, and granted, we did have a sub, but we 5-0'd Kanga the other day. Like, come on. Anyway,
Whoa, hold on.
Chilling,
I
we're chilling,
can't
bro.
gloss.
Like, it's
I
fine.
can't gloss
Hey,
over
no, we
Donald.
have
I
to.
can't gloss over that. No. Did you just say that you don't scrim Gen G?
Of course not. No, they're scared of us, man. They don't want to.
Oh.
No, and that's not the actual answer.
Okay.
No. Okay, so the real reason is my team is employed, right? So I have a job, and these Gen G guys scrim like NA times. So while I'm, you know, at the 9 to 5, these guys are gaming it up. So you know, it is what it is.
Can I ask what the 9 to 5 is? I'm curious.
So I work at a cardiology practice. I'm the team leader of technicians. So we do a bunch of good stuff. It's I'm basically a real life strategist. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You said cardiology?
Yeah. I'm not a cardiologist,
So
but
what's your-
I'm like directly under one. Yeah.
But what you're saying is that your team has heart.
Wow.
Yeah, they have
I was gonna
hearts,
ask
and
if you
I
check
can
my
tell
blood
them-
pressure.
Yeah, bro, that's easy. Do that on a daily. Give you an ECG. If
Yeah,
not.
here's my pulse. Tell me.
Yeah, I think I might have AF, man. Like, go get that checked out.
Ah, jeez. Yeah, I'm having a heart attack. Well, anyways, that's okay. We're at the end of the day here. But Donald, I do want to ask, though, it's all been fun and games for you guys. I did notice one thing, and I don't want to be the negative Nancy here, but someone's got to do it. There was one point in this series where things were looking a little off for Chiefs, and that was the defensive convergence point on Shin Shibuya. I personally didn't think Revolt would take it, but they did. What happened, man?
Well, as you guys watched, obviously, my two, we play a 2-4 split generally, and the two maybe got a little bit too hungry. I don't know. Maybe it's just from how the game prior went. They're like, yeah, we can do whatever we want, and yeah, we got punished for that. But I mean, then we proceeded to basically hold them in the spawn on the second.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I
remedied
can't
it, I
deny
suppose.
that. Yeah, good comeback.
I mean, we talked. I mean, us the casters have had a whole discussion before we went into this series, right? Like, is Devil Dino better or is Team Black Cat better? I gotta get your thoughts on it, right? Do you think it's you're on Team Dino? Or
Oh,
you
come
on
on,
Team
you know
Black
what he's gonna
Cat?
say.
What? I mean, we got to get the professional.
Let him
here.
cook.
Yeah, I mean-
Let him cook.
I don't know if I want to like leak, but I think the dinosaur is a stronger character, in a vacuum. Yeah. But
In a
we're not playing
vacuum?
in a vacuum. In a vacuum. Yeah.
That's
Like,
right.
There's things
I
around
am
it.
not in a vacuum.
the way teams play has a big thing to do with it, right? And yeah, our team, Black Cat is effectively DD but on steroids, and yeah, Reno sort of ran. Well, he got banned out, and when he didn't, he got banned out. He ran last season, so yeah. I mean,
You know
let's do
what?
we can.
I'll put it in
Most of us,
terms that the smartest guy in the room, Donald, can understand. Black Cat makes my heart race.
More hard puns.
Yeah.
I know one thing about Donald and Lay, where I'm guilty of it too, but like.
That's all I need to know. Donald, look, man, this interview is running a little long, and I'm sure you're tired. You want to go to sleep, whatever you want to do. The world is your oyster right now. What do you have to say to everybody?
I don't know, man. We're making top 2, and we're gonna smoke the rest of Asia. Yeah, let's just keep supporting the Chiefs. Yeah, I don't know. See you soon.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Donald. A pleasure as usual. I'm sure, again, not the last
Thanks
time
for
we'll be
having me.
interviewing you. Have a good night, my guy.
Catch you later.